Cancer, this May will be a month after which you will look at your life completely differently. Are you ready to find out what's ahead for you? If you're used to stability, prepare for surprises. Bright events, unexpected discoveries, but also a few moments when you'll just want to close yourself off from the world and be alone await you. It will definitely not be boring. Well, let's get started. At the very beginning of the month, on May 2nd, Venus will align with Neptune. Why is this important for you, Cancer? Venus governs love, relationships, and finances, while Neptune governs illusions and dreams. When these two planets are near each other, there's a risk of falling for beautiful promises that are empty. For example, someone might suddenly try to convince you to invest in a questionable project. At first, it will seem like a good idea, but it's better to think it over and double-check everything, or you could fall into a trap. Or a new acquaintance might seem like the perfect person for a relationship, but after a few days, you'll realize it's just a pretty mask-hiding emptiness. Be cautious. Trust, but verify, especially at the beginning of May. On May 3rd, the Moon will align with Mars, and this event could strongly affect your mood. The Moon governs your emotions, while Mars is about energy, passion, and aggression. On this day, your energy could quickly turn into irritation. For example, someone might ask an innocent question about your plans for the future, and you might suddenly feel like they're trying to control you and limit your freedom. Or your boss might give you a small task at work, and you'll take it as a personal insult. In these moments, it's best to take a deep breath and not respond immediately to avoid conflicts you don't need. The most surprising event of the month will occur on the night of May 5th to 6th, when the peak of the Eta Aquarid meteor shower will happen. Why is this event so special for you, Cancer? It's simple. Your sign is highly sensitive to energies and moods. And on such nights, you become especially receptive to your true desires. For example, at this moment, you might finally understand what you really want. Perhaps you've been thinking about changing jobs, but were afraid to take the step. On this night, your intuition will clearly tell you whether it's worth the risk. Or you might realize that the relationship you're in has long been a heavy burden, and you'll decide to end it or, on the other hand, breathe new life into it. On May 12th, there will be a full moon, which will be a micro-moon. Usually, you're very sensitive to the phases of the moon, and this day will be no exception. You might feel a strange sadness, and even a sense of emptiness. For example, you might suddenly feel that all your efforts at work are going unnoticed, or that your loved ones aren't as close as you once thought. You might even want to cancel important meetings and spend the day alone watching your favorite movies. This is normal. The key is not to make any important decisions on this day, so you don't regret it later. On May 14th, the Moon will align with Antares, a star of strength and struggle. This is a great time to address situations you've been tolerating and putting off. For example, if your coworkers have been piling their tasks onto you on this day, you'll find the strength to say no directly. Or a close person may have been manipulating your feelings, and you'll finally speak openly about it. This conversation may be painful, but after it, you'll feel an incredible sense of relief and freedom. The most intense period of the month will come on May 22nd and 23rd, when the Moon will successively align with Saturn, Neptune, and Venus. For you, Cancer, these will be days of emotional tests and maturity. Saturn will remind you of your responsibilities and the fact that every decision has a price. For example, if you once promised to help a friend or loved one but kept postponing it, now you'll have to either fulfill that promise or admit that you haven't been able to keep it. This won't be the easiest moment, but honesty will bring you respect and peace of mind. Neptune will again give you a reason to face illusions. You might suddenly learn that someone you trusted was dishonest with you. For example, a colleague or friend might have hidden important information from you, complicating your work. This will be unpleasant, but it will teach you to distinguish true friends from pretenders. Venus will wrap up this period with a pleasant surprise. You might unexpectedly receive a financial bonus, a surprise from a loved one, or a confession of love that you've been waiting for. The month will end with the new moon on May 27th, which will mark a true starting point for a new phase in your life. On this day, you'll feel that you're finally ready to let go of old problems and start something completely new. For example, you might decide to change careers or even switch fields entirely. Perhaps you'll finally walk away from toxic relationships and open up to new connections. This day will mark the beginning of your personal reboot. At the end of May, you'll feel a deep sense of renewal. You'll realize that it was the challenges you faced that made you wiser and stronger. And remember, Cancer, any trials are opportunities to become better. You'll definitely manage, and you'll be proud of yourself.